Okay, I call the Historic District Commission meeting to order. If I could get a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
I have a motion to adopt the agenda. Get a second?
I'll second.
And a second. All in favor? Right. And to approve the minutes of our last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor? And any opposed? All right. Our first case is 201 South Main Street. 201 South Main Street. Is right here. You want to come right on up to the front, please? And what we just need you to do for the record is state your address and your name and then what you wish to do, please. And welcome.
Thank you. Antonio Benito, 201 South Main Street, replacing 10 windows with Pella windows.
Okay, all right. To the right page here. Ms. Carol, do you want to go? You have some.
Yes, I just want to ask you a couple questions before we start on this particular case. The red trailer that's been out in front of Main Street, right at the edge of your property, has been in your driveway now. Are you going to put it back in the back where it can't be seen from the road?
It's in the driveway.
Yes, but are you going to move that so?
No, it's not. I moved it from the front of the house, behind the tree, to the driveway. It's not in front of the house anymore.
I understand that, but you had it in front of the house and we had you move that. And then you
No, I
had-
moved it today because I got a notice to move it.
Right, but it's not supposed to be seen from the road. That was the whole purpose. The first time you put it there and we had.
That was a whole different construction trailer.
Well, what kind of trailer is this?
The trailer is a storage trailer, which as soon as I empty is gonna be gone.
When's that gonna be?
I couldn't give you a date.
Well, it's been sitting in your front yard a couple of years now. What about the painting that was to be done after the construction that was done several years ago? When are you going to?
I got a notice for that also. I would put an application for a permit and have somebody come and paint the house.
Okay, well, it was supposed to be done like 4 years ago.
Supposed to be?
It was approved to be done when you came to have all the work done before. All the
Painting?
construction work you had done by Mr. Hazard's company, the painting was in that and was supposed to be done at that time.
By Mr. Hazard? No.
Back on the last time, I believe, when you came to do some construction work to your home
That was an addition on the back of the house.
on the back.
Yes, by Mr. Hazard. And he put all new cedar shake on the back of the house, the sides of the house. There was nothing about painting.
Carolyn's not here.
No, she's not.
Did you pull the file?
And I just got a letter saying you want it painted by July 5th. Okay.
That was per, I guess, when you came to request the changes of the last time, that's what was requested to do, and in the area that, it's an area that is seen and should be done, correct? I mean, that's,
Well, unless you come down my driveway, you really can't see my house. Because there's a magnolia tree that's been there for 135 years. It blocks the entire house.
Well, you can't see it coming from
So
the
unless
south.
you walk down my driveway and look, you know what I mean?
Well, if you're coming up from 113,
You can't see
Worcester
it.
Prep, and you're coming there, you can see, you can
see the
see the
side
whole
of the house,
driveway,
correct.
the whole house. And I think what happens is when people tell us they're going to do things and then they don't follow through, it leaves a very big question in our mind, what you're telling us next, how much credence can we put in it? It's not an attack thing, it's, we sit here representing the mayor, the council, to upstand the standards of the historic district, which your home is in. And I know your home well because 50 years ago, as you spoke, my husband raked it. He lived in that home and raked those magnolia leaves. He said every month of the year there were leaves falling out of the tree. So I know exactly. It's a lovely old home, and it's a shame to see when the home isn't loved. And that's the look things start looking when you don't paint. And I realize that homes are expensive. If you live in a small home or a big home, it's expensive, but you get a vision, and that's the vision of the house right now as you come off the street. And so I think when you're saying things to me personally, I can't speak for the rest of them, I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Not about your windows, I'm not going off on that, but what Carol has just brought up is what.
Well, once they replace the windows, they're replacing the windows from the outside, okay? That means once they replace all those windows, then those frames will be painted, the rest of the house can be painted. I'm not gonna scrape and paint until they replace those windows. I didn't know.
You giving us your word that you plan on within the next year?
Oh,
having it
absolutely.
painted? Can we have your word today?
Oh, absolutely.
What's a fair time, Noreen? I'm not sure.
I will go on record, give you my word.
All right, then I'm going to have you stand by your word for me. We'll see where this goes.
Can I say something too?
Thank you, Ryan.
So
Yes.
I don't know what happened with any previous case, that Mr. Antonio has been to, but, we actually just had an anonymous complaint regarding the condition of his house, the peeling paint, and the trailer. That's what he's referring to, that he just got notices for yesterday.
Okay.
So our code enforcement officer did address the trailer, which he said he has moved. We did give 48 hours for that, and then 30 days for the chipping, peeling paint. So,
30 days is going to be here soon.
yeah, it is. So, I mean, that does hold, fines.
That picture was taken yesterday,
That picture was taken last week,
okay?
yeah.
And the one of the trailer was taken yesterday because she was in my neighbor's yard
Mm-hmm.
taking pictures of piles of trees that were in the front yard.
Yes.
Because they got received a complaint about that also?
Yeah. the majority-
Anonymous
there was a-
complaint?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So she was in my yard yesterday taking pictures, and it just so happens that today, or yesterday, she came back. She put the notice on my neighbor's house, and then she came back and put notices on my house.
Today.
So, I mean, it's okay, little by little, everything's gonna get done, okay? I mean, like you said, I'm not rich like some people in this town,
I understand.
so we have to go by what we have. And since I'm now retired, disabled, and on a fixed income, I will do everything I say I'm gonna do, and it'll get done. The love of my house is gonna be there until I die in that house, okay? So I do give you my word, and, that's as far as I can go. Power windows are not cheap.
I know, I have
Yeah,
probably,
they're-
so you're not destitute, you got power windows, so I understand that.
You haven't seen anything because they won't do the windows until you get approved.
Well, I'm okay personally if the windows get approved and then you do your painting, if it's a little past the 30 days. What really just makes me very upset is that red trailer, because there was a trailer in front years ago and you had to move it, and I cannot understand why would you would put something right back there when you know it's not supposed to be there.
That trailer sat there for over a year and nobody complained about it
Well,
until
because
now.
we didn't have
enforcement. We wouldn't
anybody
have
to
been
do
complaining
it.
about.
We didn't have one.
We talked about you behind your back, perhaps.
We
had
Oh.
we had no one employed by the town that had that position to go to people who make promises or don't take care of their property, and
Well, see, I
enforce it.
didn't
But
make
now we
any-
have an enforcer
You keep
here.
saying I made promises. I don't recall making any promises
Well,
to this committee,
Well, on that red trailer,
okay?
because I was chair of this board when that.
The first of all, there
time-
was a white trailer,
I don't care what color it was.
and the white trailer was moved and sold.
Well, it
The
was
red
big.
trailer came way after that, okay? And because it's 24 feet long, it sat in the front yard.
But it wasn't supposed to be there, and
Right.
you knew that.
Okay, well, I mean, it was there longer than I wanted it to be there,
In the historic
and,
district, it has to be out of sight.
And now you have somebody to enforce the code, so they came and enforced it yesterday.
Well, there are places you can live that they don't have code enforcement, and they don't have HOAs, and they don't have restrictions.
Okay,
But you
that's
all
fine.
happen to live in a historic home in Berlin.
Thank you.
On our main street, which we all take great pride in. The reason we're here is to keep people's housekeeping up to snuff.
Okay,
And I realize when
Yes.
you talk about money, and everything costs money, and
Yes.
that,
But
the
it
issue
doesn't,
is,
it doesn't cost money to move a trailer, and your neighbors have been looking at that for years.
years,
So,
no, but
yes.
okay,
Several
yes,
years
it's
it's been
moved.
there. I know.
she lives across the street.
I
It's
live
moved.
across the street as well,
Oh, you live across the street where?
at the old Eschenberg house, 102.
I don't know what that is. Is that
Next
one
to
on
the
the-
102.
church parking
Yes,
lot.
I have the other magnolia tree.
Oh, you have the other magnolia tree?
Yes.
Okay.
So I didn't complain, but other neighbors have said something to me over the course of time.
And the
About
people who
tree.
just bought that old house on the hill complained to my next door neighbor, Murphy, and they just had a whole big renovation done with construction. Same guy had to do my
And it
renovation.
was a beautiful renovation.
Yeah, very beautiful. So is mine, very
So you
beautiful.
look at, you see attractive things across from you. Everything on the.
I don't have that kind of money. I just got done telling you that. I
It
would
doesn't
love
cost
to
money
be,
to-
I would love to have my house done in 2007 when I bought it. But unfortunately, I don't have that kind of money, and everything takes time. So the inside of the house is getting done, or is done now. So now I work on the outside of the house.
So
Okay.
for the 15 years before that, or before you moved to Berlin, you did not live in Berlin before '07, is this what I'm?
No, I bought a house in '07. I didn't move down here till 14.
May I ask where you lived before you moved to Berlin?
I lived up in New Jersey.
In New Jersey, and you didn't have to have any kind of maintenance?
No
on the property?
HOAs, no historical districts, nobody to tell you what to do. You paid your taxes and you did what you had to do. That's it. Live and let live. I'm sorry, you know what I mean? I understand totally. And I agree with you. I want my house to look like the one across the street. But I don't have a baseball card to sell to anybody to get millions of dollars. Okay?
Well, it doesn't cost anything to move a red trailer that was there.
I moved the red trailer. Let's get over the red trailer.
Well, you
We're
could-
talking about painting the house, thousands of dollars. The windows I'm asking you to approve from Pella, you have all the information there. The windows are gonna cost me $27,000.
Good.
Okay,
Figure out those
good?
windows. Yeah, get your
Windows,
investment
yeah,
in
make the
nice
house
windows.
efficient, then I'll paint it after it's efficient,
Good.
okay? Is there a restriction on what color I can paint it?
We'll
No.
have to get that approved, actually.
Carol said there was no approval for
There
paint.
is.
Oh, now there is?
No, there always was.
There always is standard.
You need to paint your house, but if you are in the historic district, you do have to come back before the historic commission if you want to paint. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
If you look at Main Street and you see how all the colors
Okay.
flow and coordinate in the town you live in, and if you look at all the commercial areas as they come down to your home, there's a very flowing, cohesive look. And there isn't any turquoise blue, we're going to be taking care of the bank shortly. And you need that flow. You're in the historic district, and it just stands out like a sore thumb, and we're here to say that it's got to stop. And so you're giving us your word. And Brian, what's the date on this, that this painting needs to be started?
I'm not sure, I have to look at it, but I believe she did the letter yesterday, so it's 30 days.
Okay.
We'll obviously grant an extension if he comes before us and says he needs more time, as long as we see him actually working towards it.
Actively
Yeah,
scraping whatever needs.
exactly.
Antonio, if we do approve the windows, how long before you would start the windows and have that complete? Would that be immediate?
Yes.
And that would be completed, so what we're talking here.
Pella is coming to install the windows, they guarantee the windows, they're doing all the work on the windows. So as soon as this gets approved, somebody will come do the final measurement.
Okay.
Once that's done, they have the measurement, then they have to wait for them to make the windows.
Well,
Because
now
every
they-
window in that house is a custom size, giant.
Did they give you 6 months out for the windows, 3 months out, and just right now?
They didn't give me anything until I got approved.
Yeah, I don't think he's filled out a building permit yet, he has to come here first.
Oh, he doesn't have a building permit.
I don't believe,
So-
Mr. Antonio, you didn't fill out a building permit for the
No.
windows? Yeah.
I think he has to.
He has to get approval.
Has to
for-
have
I wasn't
approval
aware,
first
yeah.
before you-
Will the windows have the same mullions as this?
There's no picture.
That's not my house.
There's no picture
That's not
of it.
his.
Oh, it said the back.
My house is right there.
I thought it said the back, and I thought this was the back, because I can't
No.
see what yours looks like on the
Yeah,
back.
that's the next case, we
No.
have,
So are there mullions on this
Is it what?
Are there mullions on the windows?
currently?
You
No.
can't see.
See, the windows are all plain.
So there's no photograph of what the windows are gonna look like for us to see.
They're gonna look just like that.
Well, does Pella given you, do you have some presentation material that they gave you when you chose the window you chose?
So it's just gonna be white?
Did you go to Rehoboth? Did you go to the Rehoboth?
You have
shop?
all the specifications from Pella in
It
this.
says white.
White windows.
Well, that's.
Do you have pictures of exactly what this window's going to look like?
No,
You do not.
I do not.
Did you go up to the Rehoboth store? Is that where you dealt with the Pella people? On Coastal Highway in Rehoboth Beach, is that where you?
No, I called up Pella, the guy came to my house,
Okay.
and he didn't show me any samples, he just took primary measurements of the windows, gave me a rough estimate of what it would cost, told me that all the windows are made in vinyl, they're perfect, they're beautiful, they look exactly like the ones I have, but they're 10 times more efficient, and I said, well, that's what I want. Next step is to get approved for the windows, and that there shouldn't be a problem because Pella did a lot of windows in this town. I don't know.
They did our home.
Is it
I'm
your
familiar
home?
with Pella, that's why I'm asking, because we went to, there's a shop in Rehoboth and looked at all the windows and looked at the construction and looked at all the different styles that they had. That's why I was just asking.
Yeah, no, I didn't go.
It's right off the main highway, easy to find.
I didn't go there. They came to me.
Oh, I see, okay.
There's no.
It would be very important when you come back that we see a picture exactly what this is going to look like, what the window's going to look like. And they should have brochures showing exactly the model and the style that you've chosen to put in your.
Well, there is no model because they have to make it.
Well, but
The size
Okay,
is 4 foot by 6 foot windows. You see the windows on the house? They're 4 foot by 6 foot. There's not you can't go in the showroom and say, I want this one. They have to make it. So that if you see what they put on the back
well,
of
they had
the...
custom windows on our house as well, but they showed us what it was going to look like. and-
Well, I mean, I can give you you can look at the brochure.
Would you be replacing the windows at the top on the front of the building? There's a couple that look like they have grates in the top.
Yeah,
Can you?
yeah, there'll be 2 in the bedroom and 2 on the side window that are exactly the
Flip that to the
same.
front view.
See that right there, those 2.
Those two at the very top in the eve, are they getting changed in the one to the left?
The 2 in the front and the 2 on the side are the front bedroom. Those are the only 2 getting changed in the front.
And the little window that's to the left of the master bedroom or the bedroom on the second floor,
Up top on the roof.
That little window's not getting replaced.
is it not in bad shape like the other window?
No, it's in a closet.
And then the one on the third floor,
But
that's
it's
not
got the
getting
elements
replaced
on the
either.
outside.
No, that's not getting replaced either. That's an attic.
Good, that looks nice with those.
That got the diamond panes?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just curious, I mean, just because it's in a closet, it still has the weather on the outside, which is what causes damage to the windows, is the exterior, not the interior, usually. That's what I
There's
was.
nothing wrong with that window is what I was told.
Okay. That it would be in keeping with the rest of the style. The others have areas that we need for insulation, et cetera. Okay.
Yeah, there is, but that window's not being touched.
Oh, down, okay, all right, okay.
All right, anything else? Does anyone need, Brian, anything else?
No, I think he's just gonna have to communicate with Brian a lot on what's happening and how long the windows are gonna take, because I have a feeling they're gonna take longer than what we would expect, and probably longer than, definitely longer than what that,
Looking at 90 days or?
that thing he gave was given for, to paint the house, so.
what would be the problem of scraping the house, starting your project? If you're gonna be 3 months out, I'm listening right now to people that are getting building materials and supplies, and nothing's happening in the next week or so. Everyone's sitting out there 6 months, 3 months, whatever. It certainly would behoove you, and I think sit a lot better with the anonymous people, whoever they are, that have sent letters. And for us sitting up here, if we saw that you actually, the person who added on the back of your house and did all the nice shingles, will they be doing, painting the front, or who would you be looking to paint your home?
I just got a name from the contractor doing my neighbor's house.
Perhaps it might
I will
move
call-
you and
I
see if
will
you can
call
scrape
him.
and start a project, because certainly having the house scraped and painted, the windows are, that's not such a big deal. They're popping those windows in, and they are like they say, as long as everything is painted around it, it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
Then come back and touch it up.
I'm not a contractor. I
I'm
can't
just
answer that
picking out
question.
a turn, Laura, and for you all. I mean, don't you think we could start scraping and get, showing some goodwill that you were actually.
Even if we had like documentation showing that he has secured someone,
Yeah,
even
the
if we
contract
can't
or something
start.
that would be coming in
Yeah.
on such and such a date, if it's August 1st or July 1st or whatever, that's showing goodwill, I think that would be, for me personally, I don't can't speak to anybody else.
Well, I think we need to go ahead and make, approve this.
Yeah, I see a motion.
Right now, so that he can go home, maybe call tonight, or at least call first thing in the morning and say, let's get going, because I agree with you, trying to get building materials, it may be a while.
But I think scraping and painting isn't such a big, that could start, that would make a huge difference, I think, if you could consider that.
Okay, I'm going to.
Anthony,
I'm sorry.
please don't put the trailer back out front.
No,
Let's keep it out of sight.
once I empty it, it's gonna get sold. There will be no more trailers.
Thank you. Carol?
Yes. I would like to entertain a motion on case number 642-511 for the property at 201 South Main Street for the replacement of the 10 windows that with Pella, that we have seen all the information on this evening. And added to the motion will be that the applicant will come back to discuss paint colors and will provide the planning and zoning director a paperwork that he has in fact contacted and worked with someone that will paint the home.
I'd like to exclude the 2 windows out front, the one on the 3rd floor and the small one on the left of the 2nd floor.
But this says 10 windows, so they're not in the application. That's why I said 10, but whatever you want to do.
Okay, that's perfect.
Is that a Brian?
Yeah, I think he said he
10.
wasn't replacing those windows anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
He's on
says,
record saying he wasn't replacing.
yeah, and plus it just says 10, and they would make
Yeah.
it more, so. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay, we have a long motion every week, but we all got it. Ron, you're good with the motion. Do we have a second to the motion?
Have we acknowledged in there that he's
Yeah.
considering the scraping and the painting
Uh-huh.
and beginning that?
Yeah.
I put it in there. yeah.
Anybody have any objections to white paint?
No, that would look good.
No?
No?
But the house is gonna be painted white.
Only one person, I have no problem with white paint. Lots of white houses on South Main Street.
I like white. Well, let's get
All
the
different
resolution
eras.
first.
Let's.
Yeah, let's have a second on the motion.
With Brian.
We have a second on, Brian, you seconded the motion?
Can
Brian.
one thing real quick, can we add white paint now so he doesn't have to come back?
Let's get
We
through
can make a
this
second
first motion.
motion.
It's
Okay.
there. We're making an amendment.
Okay,
All right,
then I'll
so-
second.
So the motion's on the
Or
floor.
Brian second.
To accept, and Brian has a second. We have all in favor for the motion.
Yes.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, everything's good on his motion to do his windows. We can discuss the paint, which he has just proposed to us to do a white paint. If someone would like to put an amendment to this, to the motion, we could do so with this color. if
Or we
that's
can
what you-
just do a new motion.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do,
Okay.
okay, Laura, okay?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve white paint for the house, Is it the same case number?
No, it doesn't have,
Okay.
it just say the address.
Okay, for 201 South Main Street.
Okay, so a motion for the white paint. We have a second.
I'll second.
And a second from Mary. All in favor? Aye. And any opposed? Okay, so you are
Yeah, so
good.
just for clarity, he will not need to submit another application and come back?
No, it's not necessary.
It's not necessary to
No,
pass.
but he said he
To
wanted
paint.
to paint it purple with green
Okay.
polka dots. I think he'd have to come back, but white is
Okay,
fine.
as long as he sticks with white, we're good.
We're
Okay.
good.
It'll look
Purple,
very
with what
nice.
color polka dots?
No, we're not discussing purple.
No, I said if you said you wanted to paint it purple with green polka dots, you would have.
No, it would have to be black with green.
Okay,
That
thank-
purple and green doesn't go together.
Thank you for coming and you can.
Okay, well, thank you. Let me just get this straight now. Tomorrow I go to Powell, I get a permit to install these 10 windows.
Yes.
I call Pella, I tell him, let's go, let's get the guy here, measure, do what you gotta do, build them, and get them installed before winter comes, which is what my whole idea is. I'm hoping that they put their hand up and said, oh, definitely before winter.
Yes,
We'll have the whole job done. We do it, we guarantee it, there's no middleman.
yes.
That's why I went with Pella.
Yep.
So,
You
and as
have
far
our
as the
permission?
painting, Tommy Pruitt, anybody know Tommy Pruitt?
Yes.
Grew up with,
You grew up with Tommy Pruitt?
And he-
I got his number today. I will
Excellent.
call him tomorrow and get him started on the paint, scraping.
You have a good painter.
If I could do the scraping myself, I would have did it, but 2018, I was involved in a bad accident. And spinal cord injury, I can't do anything.
Aren't you blessed to be up and moving?
What's that?
Since you're very blessed after that to be up and moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Antonio, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very
We look
much.
forward to seeing it, it's gonna look great.
All right, so I don't need a permit for paint, I just need a permit for the windows.
Correct.
Correct.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
Thank
Tell Tommy Pro, we're all looking forward to seeing you. ASAP. Yeah.
Carol.
I'm gonna let you all come and throw the champagne.
We're not
So
throwing
is that for a
that.
vote? That's for a vote, never mind.
Carolyn will take real good care
That's
of
for a
you
vote.
when you
We
go.
have to sign a waiver for that.
All right, you can all come to my driveway and drink champagne. We won't waive it against the house.
All right, very good. Okay, our
Okay,
next
you're
case
next.
is 203 South Main Street.
Yes, I am here.
And you are requesting, well, let's have your name, your address, and then tell us what you
You're a
want.
next door neighbor.
Yes.
With 01 and 03.
My name is Gavin Bromell, and we're at 203 South Main Street.
The former Episcopal Rectory.
That's what I said on the way up.
Okay, then tell us what you wish to do.
Which, per the photo that I guess you guys have as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
We want to replace that existing kitchen window, double hung from whatever, the 70s or something, with 3 Anderson casements with sash with true divided lights that will have the cross pattern similar to the existing windows.
That's gonna look good.
Did you say
I'm really
wood sash?
excited.
Did I hear wood sash? Did you say wood sash?
I did.
Come on, Lord.
I mean, it's the
Have a
Anderson.
farm accent right here.
We don't hear much of that much
I
anymore.
know, well,
400 series, yeah.
yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, no, they're very nice. Anderson 400 series, it's a nice window.
Well, it looks like to me if you need that extra light coming in at the back there, I have no problem with it.
How's he doing? Is there mullions?
He's
That-
saying it's gonna have the cross like what's above it,
Okay.
all 3, which
Curious,
is
what
much,
year
that's
is
an
that?
improvement.
You know what year it was built?
The,
18 or early
the public
19?
records say 1900.
That's
not
not
right.
right.
The default date, I don't know.
No, it's
That
older
window,
than
that
that.
Yeah.
third floor,
Yeah.
that window.
Yeah.
Doesn't give away.
Any questions or any other, Brian, anything? Mary, you're fine?
Well, your neighbors are fluffing up all at the same time.
There you go.
Is this going to be your home or your agent, or is this going to be your home, or?
It definitely will be my home,
Oh, welcome.
but it won't be my only full-time home for a while yet.
Well, welcome, and thank you for taking care of that. It's a nice old home.
It is a nice old home, and
When the neighbors get everything all fluffed up together, it's gonna be a.
It's gonna be a wonderful thing.
Yes, it is.
Make both you fellas happy, yeah, and the town.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll make a motion to approve the windows as they're shown in case number 642512.
Okay, we have a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
A second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, case, next case is 104 North Main Street.
Can I say something, Noreen?
Yes.
Because I was looking for the numbers. So important for you gentlemen to have the numbers on your home. When I was going down to which house it is, because when the EMTs, if they ever have to come again, or the fire department, they need to know, see the number on the house. They don't always know.
Yeah, and it's confusing with a single driveway is the
and
case
you have
here
one-
too.
We have one out,
Yeah.
like at the end of your sidewalk or something, we have one on a gate at the end of our drive. Because if you do have an emergency, and God forbid, the fire truck, they gotta have to see where they're zipping up and down the street trying to figure out which one it is, so.
That's-
See my solar light post?
Yeah, it's somewhere, just so it's, the fire department has certain.
Yeah, the
Well,
fire,
that's-
I
was
believe
the law.
it's
It
4
wasn't long, we got a letter in the
inches.
mail a few
Yeah.
years ago.
4 inches tall, fire marshal requirement, the numbers.
Yeah.
I think the Boy Scouts came once and painted along all the curbs.
Yeah, they did in our house, but I've got it on my front of my house and my mailbox and.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
FYI, before you leave. So, anyway, if fire trucks ever have to come, they can find you all.
No, that's good advice.
Thank you.
Okay.
They'll find us. Good luck.
All right, 104 North Main Street, come on up. Your name, your address, and tell us what you want to do.
Patrice Audi. This is for 104 North Main Street, and we have.
I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying.
It's for 104 North Main
Okay.
Street for an
All right.
exterior business sign, just to change the existing sign to our new business and to not have the green border.
Is it a new restaurant or
It is.
just a new name?
It's all new owners. It's a new restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got some new owners, wondering where the board guy was. Exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Um,
I
Tell
was gonna say.
tell us a little bit about Curiosity's Killing the Cat. Some of us know some things, but please let the other commissioners know what you're featuring.
There's 2 other couples, so the 3 of us went into business together, and we came up with a name because of literally Berlin kind of going back in time and historic. I grew up on a main street just like this, and so we wanted it to be a place where people came in, everything just stopped, you just kind of relaxed. So it's dining downstairs, and then late dining will be upstairs in the next probably 2.5 weeks. It's going to be more casual with the speakeasy, almost like a cigar bar vibe without the cigars. And so we'll be able to do kind of parties and that type of thing. So we're about 2.5 weeks out.
May I ask, what will your food be? What's the specialty or the genre of your food?
It's American.
Oh,
So
American.
we have one of our partners had several restaurants throughout the last 34 years, him and his wife, and he makes his own pizza dough and pizza. So we've gotten a lot of great feedback on that. And then, burgers, and then we have some mains that have some seafood in there, and then we'll do small plates upstairs just to not kill our waitresses.
Well, when the Italian restaurant was in there, I think it did very well. And they had an pizza oven there.
We are using it.
In the back. I think
Yeah,
they
it's also there.
They had very successful business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad to
I
see
think that's
that.
what people are looking for, food that they can identify and.
And afford.
Family and afford, yeah. Awesome. Glad, wonderful.
I am going to let Brian be my vote. We're very, 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 very close. And I'm going to recuse myself because I don't need to, but I think I'm going to. So Brian, you can vote for me, please.
Yeah. And just, I think that the sign looks very nice. It's very tasteful, and I don't see anything that's good going on the same signage and doing anything. So if anyone would like to entertain a motion, does anybody have any other questions for anything?
Looks good.
Entertain a motion, someone?
Make a motion. Motion to approve the signage as presented for case number 642513.
Motion on the floor, do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
And a second, and all in favor? Aye. And any opposed? Great, get your sign.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and excited, looking forward to it.
Thanks.
We'll be to see you if I ever have 5 minutes.
All right.
All right, our next case, 124 North Main Street.
There's some more sweethearts that I love.
Hi, guys. Yeah, just commissioners, just to let you know, there's been a change in what they presented to us. They will inform you, but they're passing out some other stuff to us now that is not in our, so everything is completely new to what they were asking for.
Thank the Lord. I love it. It looks so much better.
Okay.
That looks better.
All right, so you guys go ahead and state your names and your address for the record, and then tell us where we're going to go from here.
All right, I'm Jennifer Legore, the Worcester Youth and Family at 124 North Main Street. And I'm Rachel Mitchell, also Worcester Youth and Family. All right, so we are looking for a proposal to make an addition, a freestanding addition to one of the parts of our lot. This will be a little free food pantry. It is given to us through a mini grant by the Worcester County Health Department. It will be funded through its original first year and then potentially continued on throughout the health department, as well as donations that we often receive from our different members. I have given a general idea of what it is to look like from Worcester Technical High School, who will be the ones building it, so a little additional part of that. And as well as 3 proposed placements. We are looking to see if one or all of those would be acceptable moving forward in this project.
I'm going to chime in real quick because the need for this is huge. We have one similar at our church parking lot that's been there 5 or 6 years, and the last year and a half, 2 years with the cost of food, we're almost every day restocking. And we do have a lot of people that put in also. I have friends that live in Ocean Pines that when we first built it, they said, okay, we bring, of course. So the need is there, in my opinion. The need is really there.
Well, and I live next door to that one, and it's the view out the kitchen window. There are a lot of people that come by and use it, and you don't notice it particularly because a lot of them come really early in the morning, but I see the same people sometimes. So it's really, I think, helping these people,
And
stay fit.
Her husband and our children, if you ride by our church, there's a garden in the front yard, I mean, right on Main Street, and you'll see corn when it gets up. I mean, and we have these fresh vegetables for people to have also. I mean, it really is a need.
You're both absolutely
The
right.
spare kitchen is a godsend to this community. But still, people run out or whatever. I just don't want a child not to have something to eat, so I just don't. So that's my feeling is it's needed.
You're both absolutely right. We are looking at this as a really positive thing, especially because it is something that's open 24/7. It'll be a lot more accessible this way. For the calls that we receive as an agency, we're getting maybe 30 to 35 calls a month for people recommending, needing recommendations to different food pantries. Probably more that don't either have our number or are calling 211 and getting the information. So there's definitely a documented need in Berlin and also in the greater Ocean City area.
I had one citizen contact me with just a question. They're not against this at all, but they have a question about when it's really hot, the canned goods or whatever that would be inside, would they be, I don't know, made dead or something? My response was, I don't think that, I think you're gonna have to replenish everything at least every other day. I think once it's there, you're gonna know it. You're gonna have to make sure that you have a place inside that you're stocked, that when it's empty, you know. So that was the only, citizen that I heard from about this.
What a nice thing now that you're doing, I think.
It's going to be wonderful, and the placement 1 and placement 3 are both very shaded, which will hopefully cut down on some of that. Originally, the plan was to put it in the front walkway, where we currently have a little free library, but then it became a freestanding structure, and we had to modify our plans. So,
Well, I think it's nice to be not where everyone can see you getting it.
It's not a porn of it.
Yeah. So, and that's the beauty of this. Nobody wants to go and, ask for food. That's the beauty. You can just take it anonymously. And with it being on the side, I think. But can you explain the locations? I see one is,
So if you pull up to the 124 block, which was previously the Acme grocery store, it's now divided into 3. On the side, there is a parking lot. The 1 and 2 are both adjacent, and within the parking lot, there's a small shaded area with some rocks and things like that. So it would be either the one towards the front or even the one slightly removed backwards from that. There are 2 small areas with trees. So that would be more in the middle of the parking lot, but it would also be more like street noticeable because you can see both from the streetway. The third one would be just back behind our building where there are still parking slots and it would still be accessible but would not be visible by public eye.
I wonder if it might be nice to be protected by the building.
Well, I don't know. I'm familiar with the back there.
I see it now. I just don't see the third spot. That's where I was confused.
We know how that parking lot is, that
Yeah, is that the
little
back?
part there. you
Oh,
get
I
rid
see.
of-
I thought I was looking at the same. I would be fine with any of this.
Well, I like the shaded myself and the visibility. I mean, people like, at our church, people could come early in the morning before anybody's at work. It would be easy for you to refill, those things are heavy, but, I like the idea there.
I see the problem with either one of the places.
I think we should approve all 3 places, just in case they run into any issues.
But well, that's a good idea.
Or electrical or.
That's a real good idea. Would that work, Jen? Yeah, that would be wonderful. I'm thrilled that the text school's making it, that's so nice. Because our little kids helped make ours, of course, ours is smaller, but,
But this is so much better than the other one because the other one just didn't have character. And the town of Berlin has so much charm, and I think this will fit in, even though it's there to, to serve its perfect purpose. It's still going to be something that everyone's going to be looking at.
It's a 2025 deed in the community, I guess, compared to just old villages, but it's really, are there people, I mean, curmudgeonly, do people come ever, and are there type that would just come to clean it out, or kids or something, or do you all have to be aware of that, or?
not with us, not with us.
Well, you're by the church, so maybe people feel guilty.
Yeah, I think people respect the fact.
Well, that's good. This is the first for me. I didn't realize this was something available. That's wonderful.
When do you accept donations for this?
We always have people calling in and asking, and then they just usually bring it in, or we pick them up. We usually have about quarterly food and toiletry drives, but we usually send those out to the community to another drop house, Buckingham or one of the others. So this will be nice to kind of keep it all in-house and be able to provide something for the people that we see every week.
Would the Chamber of Commerce be able to send the notice like on their email list? Do they do that for you?
Yes. They've done that for previous events and donation drives. We set up boxes at the different libraries in the area. We go through Della's every once in a while. We have a bunch of community partners that help us out with things like this. And to answer your question, I think it's always a possibility that someone comes and cleans house. Once I heard, actually a pastor say that, when you give something to somebody, your job is not to figure out how they use it. Your job is simply to give. And I really loved that. So I think that's, if they need it that badly, Godspeed to them. Absolutely.
And I don't think people realize that, and usually this is what I put in, is toothpaste and soap and shampoo and so forth. I mean, if you got X amount of money and so many kids, you're gonna spend your money on food and not toothbrushes or not, but if it's, that's available, to me, that's just as important. That the children are able to have that. So, I am just thrilled beyond, because we really need it. We really need it. Buckingham's the largest Title I school in Worcester County, and I thank you for the vision for doing this. This is wonderful.
It was Rachel's idea.
I'm sure it was. But we gotta let our whiskey, our United Way women.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get them involved.
Absolutely.
How do the people in the community know it's there? I mean, is it like through the churches or handouts, or, how do they even know something that it's there?
Well, I think the best thing is to, have somebody from the newspaper, number one, just when you get it up, go, take pictures, interview, have a news article, and, call, I'll call for you. We get somebody from the televisions to come over. Oh, yeah.
Rachel, we also have a public access channel through the town. We're happy to show it on there too.
That would be awesome, yeah. And as well as I work with the homeless lines of the lower shores, so 3 lower counties, so we'll be able to place that in their resource guide that they put out every year. They have little cards that they get out to folks, so they would probably be okay with putting something like that on there as well. As well as we have a lot of social media following. We have about 2,000 some followers, and we have a Facebook group dedicated specifically to community resources in the 3 lower counties. So hopefully people will give a lot of word of mouth by the time the project's over.
Carol, since you know these things, quick question. Do we have a homeless community in Berlin? I mean, do we have, I know it used to be behind Food Lion in that woods back there. There was like a little camp behind the school with the backs up to the Food Line, and I've never heard of anything since.
There was the last time that we went out at a point in time with Worcester County Health Department, there was still a small
And they were
encampment with the Food
dumpster
Line.
diving in the Food Lion, big green dumpster back there.
Our police chief is right on. He knows exactly who in the community needs to be checked on or need food, because they're all elderly. We are blessed with our police chief and our police force taking care of everybody. So they're aware of, but there are several. You can.
Do they have that issue in the library like they do in major cities? In the Berlin, like curious, Worcester Library. I know in Ocean City at one point they did. Downtown, when I was there. I was just curious, it's just informing me of something I really know very little about, so.
Absolutely. I think from time to time, there are a couple of transient people that do come through the libraries and the public areas, but for the most part, I've not heard anything. But it's also important to remember that a fair amount, I think something on the higher end of the 40% of people in Worcester County are at the ALICE level, which is asset limited, income constrained, employed. So they are working, but they do not have the means to necessarily have any emergencies happen before having to dip into a small amount of savings or to have to borrow money. Those are really the people we talk to. I'd say maybe 90% of people that call are within.
Absolutely.
Once they have it, the next thing they're coming in because they need food, they need help with rent.
I helped a lady 3 or 4 years ago. She had a good job and broke her ankle. And she could not work, or she couldn't pay her rent, she couldn't pay her electric, and it took like 5 churches all around, but we were able to help her keep where she was, and and to take care of her. That's why it's so wonderful to live in Pearl. I'm sorry to
All right, someone like to, entertain a
Oh,
motion?
I would love to. I've run my mouth all night, I'm sorry, but this is really wonderful, I'm so excited. I will make a motion that, in this case, it doesn't have a number on it, where's the other one here? Okay. Case number 6-4-25-14A, the revised application received this evening for the property owned by Worcester Youth and Family Counseling, that we will approve all 3 locations shown this evening for their discretion to the best place to install the food pantry. And the food pantry will be constructed as shown on the documentation.
Very well. We have a second. Brian, second. All in favor? Aye. And any opposed? Okay.
Okay, thank
Very
you so
good.
much. Thank you. Let me know, because we'll get the word out too. And get you some food. All right.
We know where to find you.
Turn right around looking at that camera right there and tell them, there ain't food. Thank you for coming.
See you, babe.
Comments from the public. We have no public comment. Staff, any comments from the staff? Okay. We're glad we have come to do that.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that.
Brian, it was certainly nice to have you here tonight for the first time in this. Remember, I'd just like to say welcome, something we've been looking for such a long time.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
I think it's going to be nice having code enforcement included in the historic items, yeah.
Do we know the name of the person that is working?
Our code enforcement officer?
Uh-huh.
Shanita Lewis Watson is her name.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And she started what, last week or?
She started the 19th.
How do you spell her first name, may I ask?
Yep, Chanita.
Like Shanita?
Shanita, yep.
And her last name is?
It's hyphenated, Lewis
Uh-huh.
hyphen Watson.
Just for some
Glad we
clarification,
have her.
That's great.
as a staff member, she's been added to the town website, so if you go to the planning and zoning department section on the town website, she's in that directory there on the right-hand side.
Oh,
So
great.
her office phone number and her email there.
Well, we want to welcome her because we love the fact that she's here.
Yeah, we're
I think I
excited to
saw
have
her
her
car
too.
out there one day. She has the car that says enforcement.
Yeah, she has that green car with all the
Very
yellow
official.
flag. Yeah, can't miss her.
Yeah. That's awesome.
All right. Commissioners, anyone with comments, any more comments or anything?
I'm just thrilled about Worcester Youth and this, it's just going to make such a difference. I'm just thrilled.
All right, I don't have anything, so need a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
Yep, second.
All in favor, meeting adjourned?